Hi, welcome to Flowers for Dreams DIY. I'm your flower coach, Allie, and I am excited to make this arrangement with you. We have lovely burgundy and orange tones with pops of peach that are just going to make the most lovely arrangement to start bringing that fall color palette into your home. Let's get started with checking out what flowers we have this week. So beautiful orange spray rose with that pop of vibrant orange. We have these lovely shimmer roses, full roses that just have a soft pink tone, peach tone, and a little bit of yellow towards the center of the rose. So as they open, they just get lovelier and lovelier. We have this nandina, which is our greenery. It's a little bushy, it's a little wild, but we will tame it. We will figure it out. We also have orange cushion pomps in the mum family, and these have such a lovely rusty yellow and orange tone to them. So it will be, it's like leaves in fall. It's gorgeous. And then we have our amaranthus, our orange amaranthus that just really complements both this nandina foliage as well as those cushion mums. We have a burgundy cremon, which we will open up a little bit more later, but look at how lush and gorgeous she is. Then we also have lucadendron, or safari sunrise. We have two of these beautiful guys that have a lovely burgundy end to the flower, and then as it goes down the stem, they are get into this luscious, lovely green. So I'm excited to use these. I'm excited to feel fall and have those nice crisp breezes in the air, and hopefully you guys are too. Sweater weather, woohoo! All right, so let's get started with our greenery. We really want to have a great base for our jar, and I am going to use our beautiful clear mason jar vase. I think it's really going to help to be able to see those stems going in through the vase, as well as this one is a I really feel like the mason jar screams fall to me, so that's why I want to use it this week. In separating out our greens, we've got to think about the height of the vase and what we can use, and we don't want any of these extra leaves to be down in the water. So we want to separate out this bushy greenery to give us some nice pieces to make a grid for our flowers to go into. So what I'm going to do is just separate these out in ways that give me a nice lovely group of pieces that we can use. Get off all those leaves that are going to go, that would touch water. There are some stems in this kind of greenery that ends when they don't have any leaves, so we can just trim those back. She's lush and lovely again. Again, we want to get a lot of different pieces. So making that grid full so that once we're adding in the flowers later on, it will hold everything well. Oh, what a lovely piece. Okay, pulling off those lower greens, crisscrossing where we're putting, giving it a nice angled cut at the end of the stem. And we want to keep the greenery tighter. We don't want it to get too wild in this one. This might even be a little bit too long, but we will trim it back if we need to. Again, just grabbing those different pieces, spinning our vase, sticking it through that grid, and just keep going. This greenery is so fun that it has such different tones with it. This piece is so just starting to feel like fall. Has those red tones on it that a lot of our flowers this week have. It's just such a different kind of greenery for us to be able to be using. pull off those low leaves. Again, spin the vase, thread those stems through. And how fun that it has these cute little flowers. I don't know if you'll get a piece that has it, but look at those cute little, just has a cute little tuft of closed flowers at the very tip of the greenery, which is kind of fun. You don't get to see that often. You kind of see it sometimes with working with olive, you know, you get some olive olive fruit. Is an olive a fruit? Anyway, I'll have to look that one up later. But let's keep splitting up this greenery. Some of it is a little bit tough, and you might break some of the pieces, just like I have with kind of pulling those leaves off. So you want to be gentle. It might even be better to kind of pinch the stem with your nail to get those to come off, or use your clippers. Just not agreeing with me today. Come on, greens. All right, giving it a twist. Let's add some more of these guys in. There, those ones came off just fine. Look at how fun. And this is a little bit more greenery than I believe you guys will get, so we won't use all of that. Just put that over there. This piece is broken, so I'm just going to snip that off. Look at how lush and full this greenery is. And then I have this one piece that I think has that cute little tuft of flowers. And I think I'm just going to trim back a little. Have that as an accent. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do, that I have a nice grid set up in there to hold all my flowers. Oh, I have one more piece over here that I had. Add that in. Such a lovely grid. I'm going to trim back some of these longer pieces. Don't want it to be too wild. Unless you like it your arrangement to be wild, then all go for it. Leave those pieces longer. Let them sprawl if you want. But for me, I think they're a little too long, so I'm just trimming them back. Okay, what a cutie. Okay, so let's add in our lucadendron next. I think this one's going to be a little taller, and over here, let's cut that angle on the bottom. Check out the height by holding it to the table. It feels a little tall, so I'm going to chop off a little more. We're going to pull off these lower petals just by sliding our hand backwards down the stem. Add that guy in. How cute. All right. Let's see. I want this one to be just a little shorter. Again, eyeing it up to the vase, seeing where I want it to sit, and then threading it through that grid. Okay, what else do we have here? Ooh, the amaranthus. So this has some lower leaves that tend to get a little crunchy before the rest of the flower does, so you can go ahead and pull those babies off. I think I want one of these to kind of sit over here on the side. Thread that through, it feels a little tall. And with this, because I want it to lay open a little bit more, what I'm gonna do is aim to have the stem kind of hit over here on the edge. rather than all the way straight down. So straight down is going to kind of hide it behind that lucadendron that we just put in. Ooh. And twisting it makes it get through that grid a little easier. Let's twist it through, but leave it on the side. And that's going to let it stick out a little bit more. And then I think I'm going to take this other one and balance that off by putting it on the other side. Twisting it through the grid. Oh, look at how fun their little arms are, just kind of floofing around. Okay, pull off those leaves that are just gonna die pretty quick. Amaranthus is a fun one too because it does dry pretty well. After you're done with your arrangement, lucadendron will stay the way that it looks pretty long as well. So that one you can dry. For our cushion palms, usually there's a little stem in the center that you want to clip off. And this one's a little longer, so I think I might, has a good cluster of flowers all at the same height, which is really nice, where a lot of times they are at crazy different heights and you can't really get them to work well together. But I think I'm going to separate this one off, kind of tuck it in low, and then I'm going to tuck this guy in kind of nice and tight underneath that hanging amaranthus, so it's giving us a little bit more of a height variation. Let's do another cushion mum. Let's do one a little bit higher and kind of behind where that one just was. Give us a little bit more orange. Okay, so now we're starting to get a pretty full vase, which is kind of nice. I think I'm going to wait on our cremon. Let's put in some roses next. Let's pull off those lower leaves. These beauties, you can pull off these guard petals that don't look the best, but sometimes they have some good color on them. So if you want to leave them on, you're more than welcome. If they look gross, let's pull them off. And we can give them a little bit of air to help them open up. These cuties, I think, are a little bit too fresh to spin. We can try it. We'll try it on the next one. And let's see. Let's get one of these nice and low, huh? Kind of tuck that in there. How cute. Okay. Then we want to get a different height on the next one. So let's pull off those guard petals that are gross. And this one has a pretty straight stem, so I can spin it. I don't know if it's going to give me much. Woo! It's really not spinning well, is it? Let's just give her some hair. So what I do is gently take my fingers and thread them into the petals, kind of spreading them out, not crunching, but gently pulling the rose open a little bit and then giving a nice big puff of air right to the center. That opens it up a little bit more. I think this rose will be really pretty right here. And again, I'm just eyeing up where I want to put the flower and cutting it about at the height of my counter. So I know the bottom of the vase, that's where it's gonna sit. And when it's gonna be something that you're gonna set on the side of the vase, then you can adjust for that by cutting it a bit shorter. Okay, so this side has some great focal pieces This piece of greenery is feeling a little tall. I think we might cut that back a little bit. But this side is feeling a little empty. So let's take that beautiful pop of orange, spray rose, and puff some air into those spray roses. Just get them to open up a little bit more, and let's get those nice and tight down low. Cut that stem on an angle, weave it through the greenery. Again, we want to go from the front to the back on a nice angle. We don't want to go straight down because then our whole arrangement will smush up. So this way we're getting a little bit more of a bouquet. All right. Those orange petals are really giving such a vibrant pop of color right there. Let's get our last rose on that side. Oh, look at how cute this little greenery piece is. I think I might leave that on. It's so fun. Okay, we can, again, try to, yeah, they're so curvy. They just don't want to spin open. So let's, if you do have one that will spin open, what you're going to do is gently spin the stem between your two palms and roll it kind of slowly, not too fast, but get a good length all the way across your palm. If it's not spinning, let's go to just giving it some air. So again, pulling back those petals, gently working your fingers through to the center of the rose, or as far in as you can get without smushing those petals, and then just give it a good puff of air and it'll open up for you. All right, then we just have our beautiful burgundy cremon. We're going to pull those lower leaves off. I think I want it to go here. I think that will be lovely to get a nice lower stem in there. Or actually, let's put the mums there. I think that's a better filler. I have some of these little buds that aren't really doing much of anything to add to the stem, so I'm just going to pull those off. Let's kind of tuck those flowers together. They'll open up when you let them go. And let's weave that through our grid, giving it a spin to get nice and tight in there. And then once it's there, then you can spread out those stems a little bit. I think it's missing a little piece of greenery, so with one of those little pieces that I had left, I'm gonna put this guy nice and low. How cute. And then I have this cremon. That I think needs to live right here. It's missing something in that spot. So I'm gonna cut that baby a little bit shorter, weave it through. How lovely of a fall arrangement with just that little crisp in the air. It is starting to feel like fall. And this autumn arrangement is just going to be beautiful. So I hope you guys have loved this week. I want to see photos of your arrangements. Please do take some pictures, put it on Instagram at Flowers for Dreams. I look forward to working with you guys again. I hope you had a lot of fun, and have a great day.